your Lord and Savior. Everything about Fairy Tail has returned from my slumber. I know it's been a while since I've talked about any Fairy Tail at all, and I have to go to, like, everybody. I humbly apologize and all that to keep you waiting. And don't worry, I have some stuff in the mind. I have some stuff cooking at the moment. But we're going to be talking about the latest spoilers to come out of chapter 498. And you guys know the rules whenever it comes to this stuff and all that. You guys do not want it to be spoiled at all, then you know where to go. You know where to leave right now. But we're going to be beginning in 3, 2, 1, let's get back into it, because I'm excited to talk about some Fairy Tail. It's been a while. Now we're going to be going right into that. We get to see a cover page, and just, oh my god, like, Lucy, like, you know, I think everyone there of the male and personally, like, female audience from out that fancies a bit of Lucy Heartfilia, they go, she, like, the cat outfit, I'm not gonna lie, pretty fucking sexy. Now, as we move on with our semis onto the next page and all that, we clearly get to see on the next panel that we see Gray is already using, like, the Ice Devil panel, like, already, like, what he got already from his eye, like, he's already got the tattoos, like, all, like, markings all around his face, where he's, like, having a, like, a proper Invel. We can clearly see, like, as, like, where Natsu has managed to break out of the ice with his dragon power, like, we've seen there. Invel has sustained some damage and all that, so, like, we already know from the start that this isn't going to be a one-shot fight, so, you know, like, the fucking Fairy, you know, the Fairy haters can, you know, calm their tears down on that fact, since, like, you know, he's already taken a little bit of damage already. And going into the next page, because, like, Gray is, like, confused as fuck with this and all that, we see Brandish, who has made herself humongous, like, from this point, and is carrying both Lucy there, and also as well, Natsu and Happy in her arms, like that, and looks extremely pissed. So I'm kind of wondering what's going to be happening with that, as we get to see, like, Juvia and Gray are both looking at this giant woman from the bottom. So I'm, like, curious to see, like, how they're going to talk this way out of that. I imagine that Brandish is probably going to take out, like, these two and all that, like, saying, like, no, we're going to be dealing with them like that, and it's like, you know, Invel's going to take care of Gray and Juvia, where I was happy that Juvia is now getting involved in a fight finally, and what's happening with this is that they're being hooked to a chain together. It really reminds me of Melanie, like, when we saw, like, really back in the with the Tenrojima Island. It's still, like, they're kind of going something for like this again, and we've clearly been able to see what we see with Invel. He's able to not only just freeze, like, just your body itself, he's able to, like, fuck up with your mind. We clearly saw that with Mavis. Mavis couldn't think straight. She had this problem. And this is where the evidence going into my theory now, that what exactly is happening into this one. And it's Gray and Juvia in the next page looking extremely pissed off at each other. So maybe they was able to seal their feelings inside of, like, one another. Maybe it was like they actually hate each other now. Like, maybe it's just something like that. But, like, clearly, like, Gray looks extremely pissed, like, off with, like, especially with, like, Juvia on this panel. And, like, even Juvia as well looks pretty good, like, and she seems like she's in a lot of pain, and she's, like, clearly trying to do something right now. So I'm wondering, like, what's up with that. Like, I'm wondering, like, what's happening. Like, clearly, like, Invel, like, saw that these, like, two, you know, were a thing on his loved one, and I think this is, like, definitely the people that want to see that pairing of the Gray and Juvia. This is, like, where they're going to probably see, like, the full, like climax of this and stuff. But we get to see, like, the end of the chapter. Clearly, it's, like, this pissed off panel, and, like, Invel smiling and her, like, grasping and, like, trying to pull off this chain, and she's, like, clearly in a model, like, what's going to be happening with that. So I'm very much curious to see what exactly is going to be of this and all that. Like, I need to, like pull out that. The thing is, though, there's such an interesting part what Invel is talking about, and he mentions END. He mentions, like, Natsu, Ethereus, Natsu, Drak, Neil, and that's got to be something. It's like, maybe he's talking about, like, I'm leading, you know, maybe Brandish is told to bring Natsu to Xerath, like, maybe there's something going on with that, like, so he's clearly got that, and it's like, he clearly knows about, like, what, like, Natsu's true identity is and all that, like, what exactly he is exactly. So there's some interesting stuff about that. So, like, honestly, we have to wait until this is translated. None of this has been translated. Also, there's no details at the moment that I can give you, but there's a lot of stuff that we can already tell on these panels already, and I'm excited like that it's clear that, you know, like, Gray was seemingly, like, able to get some damage off against Invel, and this is going to be, like, somewhat an interesting fight. And, like, I'm only going by, like, the whole emotion things, because maybe these chains are kind of a lot like what we saw on Mavis having her, when she just pretty much went, her mind just went to mush. So I'm really wanting to know what happened there, and finding out, like, how, like, just much, like, stuff like Brandish can manipulate and all that, like, how she can either manipulate her own body to change shape and all that, where she could just turn into a fucking Titan at that point. She looks like something that belongs in Attack on Titan, although a little bit more sexier than most of the Titans you see in Attack on Titan, because those things are fucking uggos. But regardless of what, I'm very excited to see what this chapter is, and I'm curious to see and all that. Like, I felt like this chapter, like, from what the preview so far, is blending the comedy quite well, but then also as well able to keep the serious tone. So I'm kind of happy with that, since like Fairy Tail has been a little bit questionable for the past week. I know like a lot of people were there off about Gildas just taking out God Serena just like he was fucking nothing, and that really bummed me the fuck out. Like, I really didn't like that part of the chapter. So I'm really curious. Like, I'm glad that Bran's finally back involved again, and she's clearly got her like mind on something. We got Invel clearly fucking with Gray and Juvia, and this could like see like what we seem like he's like able to like get rid of emotions, or like freeze over emotions in some way, like where his freezing is like beyond ridiculous, whereas like I can like manipulate other things than just the matter around me. I can actually fuck with your mind and shit. So wondering how Gray and Julia could definitely be doing, but there's clearly something that is restricting them, whether or not it's their emotions or each other that are sealed off, whether or not it's something that like it's actively going to fuck them over in the long like run and all that. We don't know like at the moment, like, since there's so much you can like say about it, but they are on a fucking tight lock and all that, and like whether or not they're going to be like Melanie, where it's going to share the same pain, whether or not they're going to share the same stuff, because that's the question. So we'll have to wait and see and all that. But I'm very curious and all that, like just about that panel, just like Juvia and Gray looking like they want to kill each other. Like, they just look like they want to strangle each other right there. So I want to know what's going on with that. But that's all for me. So thank you much for watching. All means, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But I'll see you guys next time with some more Fairy Tail goodness. And I'll see you guys, though, next time.